What's going on, guys? I am the Walrus Jedi, and in today's video I will be reviewing Solo, a Star Wars story. So if you like this video, then please consider liking and subscribing and hitting the notification bell for future videos on other Star Wars movies. And there will be spoilers for this movie, so consider that your warning. This is to continue watching all the movies and TV shows and all that. So eventually I could do a ranking all the movies and shows. And I think it would be fun to split it up into a few videos. The story. Alright, so this movie starts with Han and his lady friend Kira on Corellia. They're basically they grew up on the street, basically being part of some criminal organization led by Lady Proxima, some giant snake worm monster creature. And and Han, he pilfered some coaxium so he could use it to get out, and he wants him and Kira to leave. So he they go through a chase and running away from Lady Proxima's goons, and they get to the spaceport. They join the line. It's their turn in line to talk to the attendant. They bribe the attendant. The attendant opens the door. Han goes through, but Kira is grabbed by Lady Proxima goons, and the door closes, and the attendant calls guards, saying there's a breach. So Kira's drug off, and Han says he'll come back for her, and then he goes to the Imperial recruitment desk and joins the Imperials as a way of flying and making money, so he eventually can return to pick up Kira. And then it flashes forward 3 years. Han Solo is part of the Imperial Army. He's on Mimban, and he discovers a crew of criminals that are there to pilfer a AT hauler for their job. So he basically joins them, and the leader of the crew, Beckett, he wants to get rid of Han, so he basically tells Han, basically Han gets thrown into a pit where Chewbacca is, and Han and Chewie work together to break out. They break out, they go to where Beckett is leaving, and Beckett's impressed with their, tenacity, so he lets them come, so they join the mission. So they fly to the planet where they're going to steal a load of coaxium for Crimson Dawn. And basically it's a good old-fashioned train robbery. And it goes sideways when Enfys Nest comes and basically bothers them and prevents them from taking the coaxium. So the coaxium is lost, so they have to report to Dryden Voss that it's lost. But Han says, but we'll go get some more coaxium. It's just going to be unrefined, so we're going to have to go to a refinery. And to do that, it's at the spice mines of Kessel. And so they're like, okay, but if you fail, I kill you. Classic bad guy stuff. So they go, but they need a fast ship. So they go find Lando and the Millennium Falcon. They talk Lando into it. So now the group is all together, and they go to Kessel, land on Kessel, enact their plan. And the plan is successful, except that Lando loses his first mate, a droid, L337. Boohoo, sad, sad droid. And then, Han does the Kessel run, and they get to the refinery just in time, plug it all in, but that's when Enfys Nest is there, and basically she's like, we're going to use this for the rebellion, and Han's like, you're right. It'd be a better use for the rebellion than given it to some criminals. So Han thinks of a plan to basically get his money from Crimson Dawn, but also get the coaxium to Enfys Nest. But Beckett, he's like, I'm running. I'd rather run than die. So he leaves. So Han, Chewie, and Kira, they go to Dryden Voss with a couple of cases of coaxium. Dryden Voss basically asks him, like, how'd they fake the real coaxium? And come to learn that Beckett had basically informed on Han and that. So there's a little bit of a standoff. Long story short, Beckett and Chewie run away with the coaxium, and Han and Kira are left with Dryden Voss to deal with him. Kira kills Dryden Voss and tells Han to leave. She'll be along shortly, and Han leaves. And then Kira, basically becomes the leader of Crimson Dawn. She, calls Darth Maul and says, "Oh, Dryden Voss is dead." And then Maul's like, "All right, come to me on Dathomir." And then we cut to Han Solo, and him and Beckett have a little bit of a standoff. Han shoots Beckett, and they take the coaxium to Enfys Nest, and then Han and Chewie go to a planet and win the Falcon from Lando. And that's the movie. What I liked. There isn't a whole lot I like about this movie. I used to like this movie more, but, this most recent watching, it's like, yeah, I like this movie less. So, I mean, I like Tobias Beckett as a character. I do think he's an interesting character. I actually would have preferred if they would have done more as the crew, but the crew died trying to get to the train. So, yeah, which I think you could have had a more interesting... Basically, well, we'll save that for what I didn't like. Chewbacca's cool, I wouldn't say they got Chewbacca wrong in this movie. Now, what I didn't like. This movie really could have... Quite frankly, they stuffed in a lot of events that Han Solo had that you really could have spaced this over, say, like 3 movies. Like, because we see him get his blaster, his name, meets Chewie, gets the Falcon, meets Lando, da-da-da-da-da, all these, it's kind of like a checklist. I don't know why. Well, first and foremost, why did we need to have an origin story of his name? Why can't Han Solo be his birth name? Like, why does it have to be given? That felt unnecessary. I feel like getting the blaster, it's like, they don't make a big deal about it, but yeah, he does get his, iconic blaster in this movie, which is just like, meets Chewie, gets the Falcon, meets Lando, all that stuff. Even sets up him working for Jabba at the end of the movie. It's just unnecessary. So, yeah. The Darth Maul thing, I remember when I first watched it, I thought that was cool. But if you really think about it, most of the people aren't even be like, what? Darth Maul? Didn't he die? And it's like, oh, well, you got to watch Clone Wars and all this other stuff. And plus, when he calls his lightsaber to him and that just felt unnecessary. But they did it, so oh, that's Darth Maul, which it's like, whatever. Plus, that doesn't go anywhere, though, does it? Because, I think they were setting up, a Solo, too. Like, there easily could have been another movie, but obviously Solo failed and lost money and didn't get a sequel, so, yeah. All in all, this movie is... it's not the worst thing holy crap, I forgot my least favorite aspect of this movie, L337, the droid's rights droid. What a crappy character. What a not a very fun or interesting droid character. But I'll say it. Basically, yeah, I didn't like L337. Brings the whole movie down for me. No thanks. But yeah, overall, this movie is. If you're really bored, I guess you could watch it. But if you're really bored, just put in Empire Strikes Back or Revenge of the Sith, or some other movie. You're gonna have more fun than watching Solo. So I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10. It's not the worst thing ever. Solo. I'd rather watch Solo over the sequel trilogy. So there's that. Yeah. So you can tell me what you thought of Solo in the comments down below. What did you think of Alden Ehrenreich as a young Han Solo? I don't think he's the greatest thing ever, but, could have been far worse. Yeah, so you can let me know what you thought in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and until next time, thanks for watching.